AVS Media Demo.
Well, we shan't find what we're looking for at this rate. One by one they stood up, twitching rags into place. Ralph looked at Jack. Now for the mountain. Shouldn't we go back to Piggy, said Morris, before dark? The twins nodded like one boy.
AVS
Yes, that's right.
Media
Let's
Demo.
go up there in the morning. Ralph looked out and saw the sea. We've got to start the fire again. You haven't got Piggy's specs, said Jack, so you can't. Then we'll find out if the mountain's clear. Morris spoke, hesitating,
AVS
not
Media
wanting to seem
Demo.
a funk. Supposing the beast's up there? Jack brandished his spear. We'll kill it. The sun seemed a little cooler. He slashed with the spear. What are we waiting for? I suppose, said Ralph, if we keep on to the
AVS
sea this
Media
way,
Demo.
we'll come out below the burnt bit, and then we can climb the mountain. Once more, Jack led them along by the suck and heave of the blinding sea. Once more, Ralph dreamed, letting his skilful feet deal with the difficulties of the
AVS
path.
Media Demo.
Yet here his feet seemed less skilful than before. For most of the way they were forced right down to the bare rock by the water, and had to edge along between that and the dark luxuriance of the forest. There were little cliffs to be scaled, some to be used as paths,
AVS Media
lengthy
Demo.
traverses where one used hands as well as feet. Here and there they could clamber over wave-wet rock, leaping across clear pools that the tide had left. They came to a gully that split the narrow foreshore like a defence. This seemed to have
AVS
no
Media
bottom,
Demo.
and they peered awe-stricken into the gloomy crack where water gurgled. Then the wave came back, the gully boiled before them, and spray dashed up to the very creeper so that the boys were wet and shrieking. They tried the forest, but it was thick and woven like a bird's
AVS
nest.
Media Demo.
In the end they had to jump, one by one, waiting till the water sank, and even so some of them got a second drenching. After that the rocks seemed to be growing impassable, so they sat for a time, letting their rags dry and watching the clipped outlines of the
Media
rollers
Demo.
that moved so slowly past the island. They found fruit in a haunt of bright little birds that hovered like insects. Then Ralph said they were going too slowly. He himself climbed a tree and parted the canopy and saw the square head of the
AVS
mountain,
Media
seeming
Demo.
still a great way off. Then they tried to hurry along the rocks, and Robert cut his knee quite badly, and they had to recognize that this path must be taken slowly if they were to be safe. So they proceeded after that as if they were climbing a dangerous mountain until
AVS
the rocks
Media
became an
Demo.
uncompromising cliff overhung with impossible jungle and falling sheer into the sea. Ralph looked at the sun critically. Early evening, after tea time at any rate. I don't remember this cliff, said Jack,
AVS
crestfallen,
Media
so this
Demo.
must be the bit of the coast I missed. Ralph nodded. Let me think. By now, Ralph had no self-consciousness in public thinking, but would treat the day's decisions as though he were playing chess. The only trouble was that he would
AVS
never be a
Media
very
Demo.
good chess player. He thought of the little uns and Piggy. Vividly he imagined Piggy by himself, huddled in a shelter that was silent except for the sounds of nightmare. We can't leave the little uns alone with Piggy, not all night.
AVS Media
The
Demo.
other boys said nothing but stood round watching him. If we went back we should take ours. Jack cleared his throat and spoke in a queer, tight voice. We mustn't let anything happen to Piggy, must we? Ralph tapped his teeth with the
AVS
dirty
Media
point of
Demo.
Eric's spear. If we go across... He glanced round him. Someone's got to go across the island and tell Piggy we'll be back after dark. Bill spoke, unbelieving. Through the forest by himself? Now? We can't spare more than
AVS
one.
Media Demo.
Simon pushed his way to Ralph's elbow. I'll go if you like. I don't mind, honestly. Before Ralph had time to reply, he smiled quickly, turned, and climbed into the forest. Ralph looked back at Jack, seeing him infuriatingly for the
AVS
first
Media
time.
Demo.
Jack, at that time you went the whole way to the Castle Rock. Jack glowered. Yes? You came along part of this shore, below the mountain, beyond there. Yes. And then? I found a pig run. It went for miles.
AVS
nodded.
Media
He
Demo.
pointed at the forest. So the pig run must be somewhere in there. Everybody agreed sagely. All right then, we'll smash a way through till we find the pig run. He took a step and halted. Wait a minute, though. Where does the pig run go to?
AVS Media
The
Demo.
mountain, said Jack. I told you. He sneered. Don't you want to go to the mountain? Ralph sighed, sensing the rising antagonism, understanding that this was how Jack felt as soon as he ceased to lead. I was thinking of the light we'll be
AVS
stumbling about.
Media Demo.
We were going to look for the beast. There won't be enough light. I don't mind going, said Jack hotly. I'll go when we get there. Won't you? Would you rather go back to the shelters and tell Piggy? Now it was Ralph's turn to flush, but he spoke
AVS
despairingly
Media
out of the
Demo.
new understanding that Piggy had given him. Why do you hate me? The boys stirred uneasily, as though something indecent had been said. The silence lengthened. Ralph, still hot and hurt, turned away first.
AVS
Come on.
Media Demo.
He led the way and set himself as by right to hack at the tangles. Jack brought up the rear, displaced and brooding. The pig track was a dark tunnel, for the sun was sliding quickly towards the edge of the world, and in the forest shadows were never far to
AVS
see.
Media Demo.
The track was broad and beaten, and they ran along at a swift trot. Then the roof of leaves broke up, and they halted, breathing quickly, looking at the few stars that pricked round the head of the mountain. There you are. The boys peered at each other
AVS Media
doubtfully.
Demo.
Ralph made a decision. We'll go straight across to the platform and climb tomorrow. They murmured agreement, but Jack was standing by his shoulder. If you're frightened, of course. Ralph turned on him. Who went first on the
AVS
castle
Media
rock?
Demo.
I went too, and that was daylight. All right. Who wants to climb the mountain now? Silence was the only answer. Sam and Eric, what about you? We ought to go and tell Piggy. Yes, tell Piggy that... But Simon went. We ought to
AVS
tell Piggy
Media
in
Demo.
case-